Hello and welcome to the UK and Ireland Minnesota Vikings Fan Club podcast. I am your host and fan club co-president, Big Deal Rich, and I am joined by three amigos of the fan club, all-round nice guy and fan club vice president and international fan of the year, John McDonald, and charity lead, Mr. Reesfield, and our content master, Tom Perry-Jones. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh, John, you sound so crisp. Have you got a new microphone?
I have purchased myself a new microphone so people can actually hear me on this podcast.
Damn it.
Who am I going to talk over now?
That's next in my basket. So I have to put it with my headphone-ridden face until the microphone arrives in the post. What show have we got today? What we're going to do? There's some news. Obviously, there's some news. Since last time we spoke to you, the NFL moves at pace and things happen. So we've got some news to talk about. We're going to run down the very interesting list of existing NFL free agents. Have a quick chat about where they're going to land. But tonight, it's really about Pint Punts reviewed. Regular listeners of the show will understand that at the beginning of each season, me, John, and Reese have a little bet with each other. You know, when you're in the pub and you sit across from your mate and you say, I bet you a pint that this happens. Well, at the beginning of the season, we made some of those bets we're going to review and see who comes out on top. And I think that's it. So we're going to round that off with Pint Punts. That's going to be the main feature of today's episode. So I think we should probably go straight into the news. Tom Perry-Jones, I'm coming to you as Mr. Content Man. What has happened since last time we spoke?
Well, I suppose we should start off by talking about the fact that CJ Ham and Adam Thielen have now officially retired. They had a press conference at the Vikings facility a couple of weeks ago, signing their one-day contracts to officially retire as Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, Thielen was signed and then let go during last season, signed from the Panthers, and then we let him go to the Steelers when it sort of didn't pan out for him in what was supposed to be his swan song, but he was able to come back with the family, sign that one-day contract and retire. CJ Ham, lifelong Viking, from right there in Minnesota, from Duluth. Just a perfect way for them both to go out.
Did everyone watch the press conference?
Yeah. Did anyone not cry at the press conference is the bigger question.
Say not a dry eye in the house. I was such a manly man. No crying from me. But yeah, it was very touching, and it's new era at the end of the day, isn't it? I think we're all just waiting for the hazard.
Did they give you a hat as well?
We're just waiting for somebody wants to figure that one out. Just waiting for the Hazard Smith news to finally come to fruition. But yeah, it's going to be a new era. It's going to be. I mean, I can't remember last time we lined up in a game without CJ Ham. At the end of the day, that has been a long old time. So yeah, it's going to be a new era indeed. Any other news, Tom?
Yeah, so we said goodbye to a couple of Vikings there, but we've also had to say a somewhat more permanent goodbye to a couple of Vikings this last week. We had the unfortunate, the tragic announcement that Jeff Seaman and Joey Browner both passed away last week. Jeff Seaman, drafted 10th overall by the Vikings in 1972. He played for the team for 11 years, went to 4 Pro Bowls in the 70s, was a fantastic middle linebacker for us. And then Joey Browner, a member of the Vikings Ring of Honor, drafted 19th overall in 1983, played safety for us for 9 years, and then spent a year with the Buccaneers. He went to 6 Pro Bowls and was named to the All-Pro first team 4 times. You know, and both, of course, were named to the 50 greatest Vikings list in 2010. It's just testament to the quality of these men, and such a shame that they happened to die within a day of each other.
Yeah, I think the word legend gets thrown around quite a lot, but no truer a word said for these two past Vikings. So commiserations and love to their family and friends. Moving on, have we got any other news, or are we talking about free agency now?
Yeah, well, kind of talking about free agency. We have signed now punter Johnny Hecker to replace the outgoing Ryan Wright. So he's come in on a $1-ish million deal for a year with us. And Carson Wentz is back. We've got him on a 1-year contract, I believe, basically veteran minimum or close to. But also we've signed a restricted free agent from the Buffalo Bills, a bit of offensive line depth in Ryan Vandermark. I believe he plays sort of interior. Yeah, he's a good name, that, isn't it? He plays interior line,
tackle,
but I think he can play tackle as well. Yeah, plays all sorts of positions, but that's why he's listed as offensive line and not tackle, guard, or center.
I'm a little bit disappointed you didn't pause for Mr. Smug up there. He seems to be smiling about the Carson Wentz news, Reese.
I'm smiling about all three because I'm pretty sure I said we wanted a punter that could hold. We needed O-line depth, which we got. And yeah, I don't even bother with this week's news because I predicted it all last week with with Carson Wentz. So pretty happy with myself on that one.
Yeah, we had one of our content guys, Jonathan Pye. He predicted that perhaps we wouldn't see any movement on the quarterback front until after the draft shook out. But I think the Vikings seem to think that there's not as much promise in this year's quarterback draft class as there was in just bringing back a guy that we already had in the building. So at the moment, we've got Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and Max Brosma all on the roster. I don't see all four of them making it to day one of the season, but which one's gonna drop off the list?
Yeah, I noticed that the Vikings wished. Yeah,
practice squad.
The Vikings wished Max happy birthday last week. Happy birthday and goodbye, I think, was the appropriate words that they should have used. Because
goodbye and good luck. I don't recall saying good luck.
Yeah, he's lovely guy, and I think we all wished it really wanted to pan out for him, but yeah, Max isn't going to be throwing balls to the Vikings anytime soon. It'd just be interesting. I think I've said it before, Reese, I know your opinion on the matter, but I think having a strong quarterback room is a good thing. I don't personally think that means that the franchise has given up on JJ McCarthy. I think he just needs more time at the end of the day. So having some good quarterbacks hopefully help. And at the end of the day, between the three of them, we should be able to make one healthy quarterback for the season. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, good news all around. I think that's, yeah, we have the technology. We can build it. Yeah, we'll get one quarterback in the room, and should be fun next year. So is that it? Is that it for news?
A couple more things. So sorry, John, you were going to say?
I was just going to say about the opening game of the season's been moved, hasn't it? It's been moved to a Wednesday night.
It has.
For the Australian, because they're going to be playing the Australian game on what will be a Thursday night for the USA and Friday morning for Australia.
Is it Friday?
Yes.
It's Friday.
Yeah, Friday morning US time. It's about 10:30 in the morning Australia time.
Friday morning Australian time, Thursday evening US time.
So they're basically scheduling it like it's a cricket test match. You know, those often will start at 10:30 a.m. Melbourne time. So it looks like that's what's going to happen this time around with the NFL.
So someone who's very confused by the whole international dateline, what time does that mean it's going to be for us?
1:30 in the morning on Friday morning, Thursday night.
Okay, so like normal Thursday night football.
Exactly.
It's a standard Thursday night game. Yeah.
I just feel sorry for all the Australians.
And who's playing again?
That'll be the Rams and the 49ers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
49ers.
No, it's the Seahawks, is it not?
No, Seahawks are in the kickoff game on the Wednesday night.
Oh, so that's okay.
Because they're the Super Bowl champions, so they're
you.
hosting the kickoff game on the Wednesday night.
Why?
And then week one.
I know it's tough to remember and believe that
game.
the Seahawks won the Super Bowl.
I tried to. I tried to.
Sam Darnold, we let him go.
Oh no, we're back.
A couple more small bits. We've got we're a little bit behind on this one, but how dare you? We're a little bit behind on Harrison Smith participating in the Flag Football Classic, or the Fanatics Flag Football Classic, drafted in at the last minute after Derwin James suffered an injury, and then his team got absolutely mullered by
The proper team for flag
But
football.
yeah, the Team USA flag football team. So they lost 39-14 in the first round robin game. Then they actually did beat the Founders FFC team, which is a team they made up for this competition.
Brady's
Smith's team was called the Wildcats. Yeah, Founders had Tom Brady on it, but the Wildcats managed to beat them, and they went on to face Team USA again in the championship game, but lost again 24-14. So it was a bit closer, but still, I mean, showing why flag footballers are probably the ones who are going to be like the best suited to play in the flag football tournament at LA 2028.
Yeah, it's a big difference. I mean, did you see Tom Brady got his nose put out of joint when he was like, "Well, they should just change the rules then." He literally came out because he
Unlike Tom
lost
Brady.
the game. He lost the game. He's like, they should just change the rules. Make
Tom Brady
it more like NFL.
Tom Brady doesn't ask them to change the rules. He just plays outside them at his own whim.
It does show the difference between flag football and NFL.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, and I think a lot of the NFL players were like, "Oh, we can do this." No, it's a very different game, my friend.
The receivers were all right, I thought. I think the receivers will be interesting. I think if there's anyone who can make a team in the Olympics, it will be the receivers. I think for the quarterbacks, it's just shows there is a different skill set to it. But we still got to see a Jalen Hurts pick 6 as well.
That's excellent. And then the last thing is the Vikings, or the city of Minneapolis, rather, has submitted a bid to host the 2028 NFL Draft. So whereas John gets to go to Pittsburgh this year, if he just waited 2 years to be our best fan in the world, he could have gone to a home draft.
Well, I think that gives us an opportunity to have a go at that one. So get your thinking caps on and get yourself nominated for it. See if we can get to Minnesota for the draft. Good news roundup. Thank you very much, Tom.
Obviously, Rich will be taking me out there if he wins, doesn't he? Won't he?
Of course.
Whereas if I win, I'm not taking either of you because John didn't take me.
Thanks, Tom.
Oh no, I'm taking Darren.
Oh, cheers. That's all right. Rich is actually going to try and swim the channel now for charity. He's no longer just swimming it in a pool in Bradford. He's going to swim the actual channel now.
It's quite. I didn't realize how dangerous it is. A lot of people die every year doing it, so maybe I will just do it in a
20 odd miles.
It's a long way. It's 22, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost a marathon swimming.
Anyway, let's move on because there is an NFL season upcoming, and there's still some players without spots, some pretty big names as well. I was looking at the list that Tom provided us before the show. We do some pre-show planning, and there are some big names still on there. I mean, quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins has not found a place. Garoppolo not found a place, and everyone's favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, not found a place. Who are the quarterback needy teams going into the season? Obviously, the Steelers, unless they're going to roll with Rudolph, I don't think they've got a QB1 this season. Or did they pick someone up?
No,
I don't think they picked anyone up.
Pretty poor. It's the Steelers and the Browns that. And the Cardinals are not going to pick anyone up.
I was going to say Arizona as well, yeah.
But the Cardinals are blatantly on the take. I mean, they've got Minshew and Brissett playing for their starting job in camp. It's
like the Raiders have a need, but like there's an assumption that they're going to pick possibly Mendoza with the first overall pick in the draft.
Is it not the biggest betting lock since Trevor Lawrence to the Jags? That now, I think the odds are lower. I think it's with Trevor Lawrence. I think if you put £1,000 down, you would have won £1 back, and I think it's even lower now with Mendoza.
Good grief! And he obviously set the world alight with the college championship, so he is most likely to be the one taken. But you know me, I'm not one to nail my colours to the mast. I'm not going to say he's definitely going until the pick is in. But yeah, that's the received wisdom.
Yeah, I do want to see where Aaron Rodgers lines up next season, whether that is either behind a centre or behind a desk. I think he's got probably a couple of career jobs lined up doing some commentary and on TV and podcasts and all that sort of stuff. Will he play another year? He didn't look terrible last year, but he's another year older, another year wiser. I think it's potentially time for him to hang up the cleats. John, I'm coming to you. Anyone on that list who you spotted where you think, ooh, that's quite interesting, wonder where they end up?
I was thinking Stefan Diggs. He's still got a bit left in the tank, I reckon. He wasn't terrible for the Patriots last year. He could come with a bit of experience. If anyone's really short on a number two, he's definitely can be help out.
He's giving Odell Beckham vibes, as if he's just going to sort of wait out a little bit and find somewhere that definitely needs someone who can catch the ball. I don't think he was targeted enough at the Patriots last year, if I was brutally honest. I still think he's got a little bit to offer the game. So yeah, it will be interesting to see where he ends up. Reese, anyone on that list where you think interesting to see where they end up, or even anyone who on the list where you think, oh, maybe the Vikings will take a punt at him?
I don't think there's anyone for the Vikings because we have no money. I think we've got 5.7 million, which currently isn't even enough to pay the draft class. So we need to find a bit more room, probably a Brian O'Neill restructure. But going from one Diggs to the other, Trayvon Diggs, it was an odd one. What happened to him at the end of last season? He found his way out of Dallas after being their number one guy and ended up on the Packers for like a week, got cooked and cut. So it'll be interesting to see where he lands up. He'll probably be waiting for someone to go down in camp, I reckon, before getting picked up. So the desperate team will probably pay a decent bit for Diggs on a one-year deal. Other than that, there's really not much interesting. It was a pretty poor free agency class, which I think is why so many teams have been so quiet.
Yeah. Well, especially the Vikings. Well, I was just going to say that especially the Vikings, we got burned in free agency last year, and it's meant that we have no money left now. As Reese said, Brian O'Neill potentially looking at a contract restructure again. Jonathan Grenard is still a potential trade candidate. Hopefully a first rounder for him, but I don't see that as like that would be the very top end of what any team would give us for Jonathan Grenard. In terms of the free agents that are still available, I saw that KJ Osborne is still available and fancies coming back to the Vikings, but I think he's just kind of desperate to play anywhere, and he sees that we could do with a wide receiver 3. But then Nuke Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins, has said that he wants to play for with Kyler Murray again. So there are options for us at wide receiver. Looking elsewhere, I mean, the obvious eye is obviously drawn to Kirk Cousins. Apparently, the Rams are looking at him as a potential QB2 for 2026. It's such I think it's a shame to see how far he's fallen since leaving the Vikings. You know, going to the Falcons and then that very same offseason, them drafting his replacement. It was a bit of a slap in the face, and now he's just languishing in free agency with no one willing to pay the money that he would very much be asking for. He couldn't even find a job with the Vikings on a veteran minimum. So good luck to him finding any money at the Los Angeles Rams.
He doesn't need money though, does he?
No. Well, he's still driving his nan's old van, isn't he?
Is that what we're calling that?
Well, that was the story, wasn't it? He didn't want to buy like a fancy car or anything. He intentionally drives his grandmother's station wagon or minivan or whatever, so that he could save as much as possible, put it into foundations and things.
I was going to say, what's he going to do with all this cash? The Kirk Cousins tax, where is it going?
He's tithing.
I was going to say he already doesn't work Tuesday, so maybe he's just eking further towards retirement.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that is our insightful roundup of free agency. There's no big deals, I think, left to take place. I think we're all waiting for the draft, waiting to see if there's an injury in camp or anything like that for the rest of them to go. Joey Bosa, it'd be nice to see where he turns up to probably round out his career. But yeah, that's
Cameron Jordan as well. Cameron Jordan as well is available. You know, son of ex-Vikings tight end Steve Jordan. A potential pickup for anyone on the edge, but he's only maybe got another year left in the tank.
Yeah, the only one I was looking at was Joku, because good tight ends are difficult to come by, and
him and Darren Waller.
Yeah, Waller's got a blossoming rap career, hasn't he? He can always fall back on. But anyway, let's move on. There's a fair few free agency players still needing to be signed. I think we're going to wait till after the draft to see where they go. Pint Punts. The reason that we are all here. Let's revisit Pint Punts. Pint Punts again. If you're not a regular watcher, listener of the show, me and John and Reese have a little bit of a friendly bet with each other. I bet you a pint. This is going to happen. John, I think I opened the gambit this year with my running back bet. Tom, do you want to remind us of what the bet was?
So so number one, the first bet that Rich put forward was Jordan Mason will have more touchdowns and rushing yards than Aaron Jones this season. Reese, you didn't take the bet. John, you did, but Jordan Mason did have more yards and touchdowns than Aaron Jones. So, John, you owe Rich a pint, I'm afraid. Is it going to be a pint of For Whom the Bell Skulls?
You're on mute, John.
It was very close, and if Jones had stayed fit the entire season, I'd have won that hands down.
I do feel that it was like this time.
there was like 50 yards in it. It wasn't that great a difference.
It was solely Jones's health that made me say I'm not taking that bet, and
yeah, it was an interesting one, because I did think we were going to use Mason as a punch in, and so I thought the touchdown was a fairly safe bet, but I thought we were probably going to use Jones's explosiveness. So total yards was always a bit of a gamble, but that's it. Jones's health, and I know he's coming back next year, and again, touch wood, he will stay healthy, and we'll have an extremely lovely running back room next year. But it does make me nervous. It makes me nervous that running back one is going to be Aaron Jones next year. Not because he's not great, not because he's not a great guy, not because he's not great in the locker room. It's just he can't run for a full season. So
I think it's more likely that he's going to be running back too. I think Mason will take over as like most of the attempts this season, unless we draft a promising running back potentially in rounds 2 or 3.
It sounds like you're trying to make a pint punt there, Tom.
Maybe I am.
That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Yeah. John, you owe me a pint. I will take her for when the bell skulls, For Whom the Bell Skulls, as and when you
don't even know the name
ready.
of the beer.
it's all right. He doesn't drink enough. That's
yeah.
He drinks too much.
I drink too many.
Draw your own conclusions.
Oh dear.
Tom,
number two is CJ Ham will score a touchdown at an international game this season. Obviously, we had 2 international games this season, so there was double the chance for CJ Ham to score a touchdown in one of them. Rich and Reese, you both took this bet, which means that you thought that he wouldn't score a touchdown in either of the international games, and that's exactly what didn't happen. So John owes both of you another pint.
Yep, I'm 3 beers down already.
I feel like I'm going to end up as Edward Beerhands after this, but John. We know why the bet. We know why the bet was placed, because we know you wanted that, and I think there was almost a talk of, is the trade window still open? Could we trade CJ Ham to an international team just so he had another game to potentially score a touchdown?
I don't mind, because the one touchdown he did score this year, I got him at 60-1 odds of scoring a touchdown that game. So I was very happy with that.
I mean, John, double or nothing on the same bet for next season.
I'm gonna duck out that one. Since he's retired now, I'm not that
And-
sure.
By the way, don't sell him short. He scored 2 touchdowns this season.
Yeah, I can't
I'm trying to
remember.
remember the
He
second one
scored
now.
the other one. He scored the one
He,
against
he
Cowboys.
scored against at Dallas and
New York, was it?
against Green
Oh.
Bay in the last game of the
Green
season.
Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course he did. Last game of the season, didn't he?
Of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both from a single yard.
There
Yeah.
you go. When I say CJ, you say ham. Right. So John knows his old beer. What's the next one?
Number 3, JJ McCarthy. Oh God, JJ McCarthy will have a better passing touchdown to interception ratio than all other quarterbacks drafted before him on the 2024 draft. Even if you'd said he won't be the worst, you'd have lost this bet, because JJ McCarthy had more interceptions than touchdowns. So he was comfortably the worst of the top 5 quarterbacks in the 2024 draft. So yeah, Reese, this was your proposition. Rich and John, you both took that bet. Perfectly reasonable for betting against a guy in his first season as an NFL starter, who's never really been that good as a quarterback. Yeah, Reese, you owe both Rich and John pints.
I like how when we did this, we all had so much optimism that the talk was maybe just Jaden Daniels will be better than him. And I think that was the only one he ever had a chance of being better than, because Daniels barely played. This is the bet that I would make. And then these two could have just done a stone cold Steve Austin what? Because it would have been beer upon beer upon beer upon beer. It's not the finest bet.
I still don't like. I don't like how you've thrown the word worst around. The quarterback still
Least best.
Still with the most development, I think is the is the sentence that we're rolling
He's
out.
still got to play a ceiling, surely, right?
And this is not only because I bought a very expensive JJ McCarthy jersey in the Bank Stadium last year, and I would quite like to not have to throw that in the bin. It'd be nice if he turned around and started.
You did get a discount on it, to be fair.
I did get a discount. Obviously, I'm a big deal, so they instantly recognized me and gave me a
Because I'm
discount.
a big deal.
No, it is because Tom's a big deal. That's why I got a discount.
It's also not like the club has a signed mini helmet to give away at some point or raffle off that we really need to
Definitely
maintain
should have got rid
value.
of that during the season.
You see, can we still say QB1 if we do it now?
Sure.
No.
So,
I'd love
if you're
to know,
applying for a
actually.
signed JJ McCarthy helmet, email the club. So yeah, we're all rolling in beer now. I think I'm maybe 1 pint up on the rest of you. What was bet number 4?
Bet number 4. Oh, jeez, this is
Rich,
another one,
it's
awful
not
one.
good for you.
This is not good for you, Rich. Vikings to go undefeated in the lead up to the international game. So that meant that we would have to beat the Chicago Bears, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Cincinnati Bengals, and go 3-0 in weeks 1 to 3. Rich, this was not a well-advised bet from you, man.
We beat the Bears. Good start.
But you went to the Falcons game, and we all know what happens when you watch games overseas.
That's unfair, I think, to blame.
It's not unfair. It's exactly what happened
on me. I think that's a bit unfair. And the hospitality was so.
The statistics show
it's
that
happened
when
3
Rich is
times.
in the US, they lose.
Oh dear. So yeah, Rich, that was your bet. Reese and John both said that the Vikings would lose at least 1 game in those 3. So Rich, you owe Reese and John a pint each.
And didn't we blow the Bengals out? It was like
the one game
yeah.
we said that we'd probably lose, we blew out that team as well. So we were all on fire here.
Dear, oh dear. You guys are so good at making bets. I love
A
this.
strange season.
Last season was great because nearly every prediction was right, with like the exception of like 1 or 2. This season, they've all just been terrible.
Well, apart from, is it? In fact, it might even be the next
It is
one.
the very next one. Yeah. It's the only one that Darren got involved in. So, John, you could either be quids in or really take the brunt of this one. You either get 3 or lose 3 because everyone took this bet. The Lions will finish 4th in the NFC North this season.
Said no one ever apart from John.
Bloody Max Brosma.
Oh dear. So this means that you all took that bet, which means you went against what John said. John, you have earned a pint from Rich, Reese, and Darren.
Wow. Thank you very much. I started this 3 beers down within the first 2 bets, and I've just won 3
You're
beers.
breaking
back in
even.
one bet. Oh no, I'm up now, but yeah.
That was outstanding foresight. Outstanding foresight.
They lost their 2.
That's
They
4
lost
with
their
a
2 coaches.
FOUR.
Yeah, they lost their they lost their offensive and defensive coordinator in the same season. I just knew it wouldn't.
Yeah,
work
that'll
out
hurt
well for
anyone.
them.
Yeah, but they were in a division with the Bears. That's
The
always
Bears
my
came top
fallback.
of our division.
I know this, John.
But it was only a 60-something yard kickoff return that got the Bears the division title. If that had gone the other way, the Vikings would have won the division.
Exactly.
Anyway, shall we move on to number 6?
Let's.
I like this one because what I like about this is that there was a split in the decision about who was going to take the bet. So this one was Jordan Addison will have the best single season receiving yards total of his NFL career to date. That would have meant he went over 912 yards for the season. John, you didn't take that bet, so you're safe from this. Rich, you said that he wouldn't go over 912 yards, so you win the pint from Reese. Jordan Addison had 610 yards this season, which means he was still about 300 short of beating his personal best.
Is that Jordan Addison's fault, or is that because we didn't have anyone to throw the ball?
¿Por qué no los dos?
3 100-yard games, 3 game suspension.
Yeah,
especially considering how that Bengals game won, there was probably a lot of yards in there for him if he wanted them. I blame Jordan Addison for falling asleep at the wheel or whatever it was he did this time. Losing that one.
Yeah.
and also like for a wide receiver too, like 912 was a big number for wide receiver too. Was getting 610 with a 3-game suspension was fairly impressive. I would say.
It wasn't outlandish. It wasn't outlandish,
No.
considering we don't run the ball ever. It sort of made sense. But Jordan Anson's Jordan Anson. He was always going to disappoint you. So unlucky, Reese.
Well, he hasn't disappointed you because you've earned a pint from this one.
I mean, we say that, but Jordan Addison somehow came up with pretty much all of our highlight plays this season, which is the worst thing about it.
Yeah, but the biggest highlight play he had, well, apart from the long reception against the Steelers in Dublin, the best one was a rushing play.
There was also the receiving touchdown against the Browns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That was a good one. Number 7, the Vikings will record their first playoff win with JJ McCarthy under center this season. This was Rich's proposition. Reese and John both took that bet. As we all know, the Vikings didn't make the playoffs, and therefore, Rich, you've just given away that pint you won on Jordan Addison, and you've got to give an extra one to Reese and John.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, aside from that kick return, we would have been in the playoffs. And
this is going to be like our mantra for the next few years, isn't it? Oh, you remember the 2025 season? God, if we'd only not given up that kick return, we would have won the division and gone on to win the bloody Super
won the
Bowl for
division,
first time.
home game, been in the playoffs, and
First round exit.
Yeah, the
First round exit. Yeah, standard Vikings against
the
the
Bears were
Packers.
terrible, and JJ McCarthy's a serial winner. So,
God, I was wondering where that one was going.
He's great.
Cheapest. Well, as we know, so the Vikings didn't make the playoffs, which leads us into the next Pint Punt, which was to say that only one team from the NFC North would make the playoffs this season. John, you boldly said that only one team would make it. I don't know who you thought was going to make it and win the division. but Rich and Reese both said that more than one NFC North team would make it into the playoffs. They were right. The Bears and the Packers both made it, which means, John, you owe Rich and Reese another pint.
Yeah, is someone keeping tally of all this?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
I am.
certainly
I've got
am.
it. I've got it here. I've got it here. It's going to be a heavy night when we catch up.
It does feel like we won that one by default, because I touted as the most difficult and impressive division in the NFL. For it to end up like that, the only tough teams, the only tough games that we had were against each other because we were all terrible. So I think,
And yet we had the best in-division record of the entire NFC North last season.
that's the Bears for you. So yeah, it was it was just a bit of a weird season. I think we can all admit, and it's only going to get weirder with Kyler Murray under center. So we'll see what happens next year.
Yes, certainly. I'm looking forward to that, though. I really want to see how Kyler Murray does for us. Can KOC be the QB whisperer again? Right, here we go. A non-Vikings related punt. In fact, we're looking almost entirely away from the Vikings. The only connection is that we played this team last season. So the Steelers, Reese said, would have their first losing season under Mike Tomlin. Rich and John, you both disagreed. You thought that he would be true to form. The Steelers went 10-7. They did have a winning season. Reese, you owe Rich and John another pint.
I should have gone McGutt and just said they were going to fire him. But instead I tried to be clever and say they have a losing season, but that will never happen. Oh dear, this has not been a good Pint Punts for me. I don't think
it's been particularly good for any of you.
I don't know. I mean, John was 7 pints so far. Rich was 6. I've only got 4. I'm just gonna be sat there with these two, just nursing my pints.
Yeah. So when you say this hasn't gone particularly well for you, it has gone the best out of any of you.
It's gone the worst. These two are getting pints hand over fist.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant you were 4 down. You only had to give 4 away.
No,
he's only earned 4.
I've only won 4 pints.
Let's see. Oh well, yeah. You're going to struggle, aren't you?
Yeah.
You can sit with me in sober corner.
After 4 pints, no. I mean, everyone's seen me, right?
You are only a slender man.
I can't even hold on to a drum after 2, apparently.
There's no apparently about it. We've all seen the video.
The only apparently is I can't tell if I was 2 or 3 or 4 pints in at that point.
The best thing about the video is it's basically like the rim shot, the badum.
Yeah.
Just immediately dropped to my knees, kept banging away at the drum and hoping no one noticed what had happened.
Not pick it up, just go down to where the drum was.
The Germans have that effect on people. That's all happens.
This is what happens when you drink for whom the bell skulls. But please drink responsibly.
Please drink responsibly.
Not at 8 a.m. without breakfast.
Well, more fool you, I suppose. This last one. We've had 9 pint punts so far. This is our 10th and final one, and I can't decipher it for love nor money. But it says during pod recording, one of Rich or Reese's bets would related to John having a tech issue with his bike ride. So are we saying that John was going to have a technical issue with his bike ride, and
the
that
bet
Rich
was
and Reese
that
said
Rich or I would bet that John would fall off or something, or would have a puncture or something would happen to him on his ride, and we would make that prediction in the 9 bets that came before. However, we were both delightful human beings and just made sure we kept our piss taking to outside of Pint Punts.
There you go.
Well, you'd have won that. You'd have won that bet if you'd have bet on it, wouldn't you? Though?
He only had a couple of punches.
I had 3 punches.
Dear, oh dear.
Mr. Puncture in the corner over there.
Yeah. So, John, you said that the guys were going to bet that. Oh my God! You said that one of the previous 9 bets would have something to do with you having a tech issue. None of them did, which means that, John, you owe Rich and Reese another pint.
Yeah, those are pints I've already handed over to them. I handed over to them at the London game because those were well sorted by them.
I'm just going to say, as a adjudicator, I was unaware of this, so those are like null and void.
Yeah, I agree.
Me too.
All right then. But
It's all right. I'll let you off, John. Just
That's
make sure you
fair.
take me to the draft.
Dear, oh dear. So that, yeah, I mean, if we'd stuck with 9, you would have had 3 each.
No, John and Rich have won 7 and I've won 5.
No, I mean, you would have each proposed 3.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because John
Yeah.
proposed 4, but it was
Yeah.
it was sort of a meta punt. However
So
that
me and
works.
John having fun night down the pub for the team meetup. Reese, you just have to do better next year,
I'll be
mate.
funding it. I've got me 5. You've got your 7s, and we'll have to.
We've got to work out who owes them as well, not just who gets them.
Yeah, it's probably just
It's
me.
fine. we'll work it out off air. But yeah, Reese, you've won the fewest there. You've only won 5. John and Rich, you won 7. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think that is a congratulation. It just means that we are knowers of more things.
Some would say less. Well, no, I can't say that, and I can't even know.
Less or fewer?
You
Anyway,
weren't as bad as I was.
Well, that's 19 total pints that is going to change hands. I don't think they will cancel out. You have to buy every single one of them.
Correct.
Yes,
that is correct.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh well done, gentlemen. You've pint punted. You've punted pints at each other. I don't know. Johnny Hecker and Ryan Wright have nothing on you guys.
Absolutely nothing on us. Thank you very much for taking us through the roundup of Pint Punts. It is always a fun episode doing that, and then when you have a season like that, it's not the funnest episode recapping them because it was a bit of an odd season. We are looking forward to next season, of course. There is a couple of things that we still have to look back and reflect on. Reese, I believe you've got some charity news for us.
Yes, we finally, thank you, Mr. Taxman, for making this so difficult and awkward for us. We finally calculated how much we could donate from all the merchandise we sold before the international games and during the international games and since the international games that went towards the Purple Pedal. So now I can say the total prior to the people at Tesco finally putting their money in the pot is £4,461 raised. That is before gift aid. I know some people have put gift aid on, but we don't get that number publicly because it's to do with tax. But effectively, we know it's way over £5,000 that have now been raised. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, John, and thank you, John's calves.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that donated. Thank you to everyone who bought merchandise. I think we've still got some patches left over. So if you do want a purple pedal patch, then just give us a shout and we'll be able to sort that out for you, point you in the right direction of the Etsy store where it will still be able to be purchased. Reese, have you got anything else for us?
Well, I've got something. I feel like I ought to say that in conjunction with that John has some special patches for sale in recognition of his International Fan of the Year and induction into the VWO and all sorts of stuff. He's got his Sprinkles Are for Winners 44 patches. John, what have you got details on that?
Yeah, they arrived Friday. But yeah. Rich has sorted me out. Not our Rich here, but our merchandise lead. He sorted us out with the Sprinkles Are for Winners patches. So anyone that knows me on social media knows I do Sprinkles of hashtag Sprinkles Are for Winners after our victories victories. So yeah, I've got Sprinkles Are for Winners patches. So anyone that wants any patches, Sprinkles Are for Winners, do contact me. I'm doing one for £8 or 2 for 12, and any profit made will be going to charity towards the once I've covered the cost of the patches. So yeah,
there you go. I want one, obviously, and then Bill was like, hang on, Sprinkles Are for Winners patches, I want one of those. So Bill from Billy's Plays would like one, and then Penelope said, I like donuts. So she wants one as well, even though she is a Buccaneers fan. So there'll be order of 3 coming from my direction.
Yeah, so pretty much if you like donuts, speak to John because he's got a patch for you. And if you like Vikings wins, which is hopefully everyone who listens to this podcast, then you know get a patch. Alternatively, I think I'm going to have to start a GoFundMe to pay for these pints that I owe you both. Details of that might be in the bio of this podcast.
Especially if we do it in London.
Yeah, they're taking your mortgage out. But yeah, if you like what you've heard, if you realise that there can be fun in getting things very, very, very wrong, as we've done, and then please do subscribe, ring that bell, follow the podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. If you're listening to us or watching us, then you found us, so please do follow or subscribe. If not, then you're seeing a clip online or something like that. Follow the links in the bios of the social medias or in the bio of this podcast, which will take you to our Blue Sky, your ability to message us on X, our Facebook pages, and Discord server.
There we go. Thank you for the.
Before we go,
Reese. Ooh, go on, Tom.
Before we go, can I announce that I'm getting involved with a charity match, a charity football match for Garden House Hospice in Hitchin on April the 19th. They've roped me in to sing Nessun Dorma before the game.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's all in aid of the Garden House Hospice in Hitchin. Jack Wilshere, ex-Arsenal midfielder, is going to be playing in this charity match for the full 90 minutes. It's been supported by other ex-Arsenal players.
I'm sorry, no, he's not.
Well, that's the plan.
20 minutes.
that is the plan. So he'll be on the pitch for at least some time. But it's also being supported by ex-Arsenal. Well, look, I trust in you, Jack. I know you can do it. But yeah, it's also being supported by ex-Arsenal midfielders Paul Merson and Emmanuel Petit. So yeah, if you're free on April the 19th around 12 noon, come down, watch a bit of charity football, potentially meet Jack Wilshere and some other ex-footballers, and come and hear me sing. Maybe I guess.
It's funny because he was never that small.
No, he was quite a tall man, Emmanuel Petit.
There you go.
Yeah. I always like the stat that they bring up with Paul Merson. Paul 99 goals for Arsenal Merson. He got
99 goals for Arsenal Merson. There you go.
He had to leave the club. He got transferred before he got his 100th goal for us.
Yeah, he went to Villa, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. Anyway, let's stop talking about.
Yeah, less of that.
Stop talking about. Otherwise, we're going to start talking about Sunderland's famous victory at St James's Park in the derby. We don't want to talk. We don't want to get onto that subject.
Can we not talk about that sport, please? Because there's nothing good happening anywhere in it. Moving swiftly on. I think we've covered absolutely everything, Rich. So...
I think we have. We are obviously in the off season, so we are doing sort of like bi-weekly. Is that what you call it? Tom,
bi-weekly, unless we can all find enough out on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
We should probably say fortnightly, because bi-weekly could mean twice a week.
Could mean, which we are not doing because we have jobs and stuff. So so let's say approximately fortnightly episodes. So if you are looking for the next episode off of a Monday or a Tuesday next week, we'll probably have a bit of a break, and then I think with the next one into that, we're starting to look straight down the barrel of the draft. Me and John might well dial in from Pittsburgh and let you know what's going on.
I was going to say, can we tease that John and Rich might join us on a live podcast from Pittsburgh?
I mean, that's going to be pretty cool.
We'll see.
It will be pretty cool. Anyway, so I think we've run through where to catch us. We've run through all today's episode segments. I think that's pretty much it. It's been nice spending some time with you, gentlemen. I think there is one last thing to do, which is can you all please say goodbye, gentlemen?
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Au revoir, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Sounds beautiful on that new microphone. Yes, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you later. Cheers. Ta-ra.